Old Lang Syne. Happy New Year.
All right. So here we are getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah. Seriously, it's one of the last week of the year is either garbage games that don't mean squat or really good games that mean a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah. And
week 17.
With this kind of weird scenario where we've got all the games either being played. Well, there is a Sunday night game. I don't know how I missed that when we talked last. But all the games are either 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, or except for the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a compact week. Usually we got one here, Thursday night and a Monday night
or Saturday. There's nothing on Saturday, right?
And a COVID postponement and all that good stuff. So man, and I've picked up a few tidbits watching the news, and I hate to say it, but a perfect storm is kind of brewing for the Dolphins to get knocked out of the playoffs. But you know what? We haven't played the games yet,
and you still got magic to worry about. You still got some magic. Don't
actually forget it. That's part of the news. We have no magic. Fitzpatrick was tested positive for COVID.
That's what you were talking about. Oh, no.
That's one of the quarterback announcements I've got to make.
Okay. Well, from my list, that's the first one on the list. You want to jump right to that one?
Hang on. Let me pull up the little screen here.
Oh, yeah. We started doing doing your pick'ems there. Yeah. It's at the top.
So, it's at the top.
Segue, let's go into it.
Okay, so let's kind of cut through some of the business. First of all, Fitzpatrick has tested positive for COVID. Excuse me. So Miami's gonna. If you look at the two backups for Miami, it's Tua or bust. The only way those guys are getting in this ball game is if Tua goes down.
Yeah.
And
Tua's been benched recently for not playing good, so that can't give you tons of confidence. It really.
Or heaven forbid, Tua test positive between now and Sunday.
Oh God, and that could happen.
It's kind of scary. Now, all right, so. And another thing we've got to take into all right, so here's the other news. Ben Roethlisberger is going to rest. They've already decided he's going to rest. So that means, all right, so Miami has to get into the playoffs. Miami either has to beat Buffalo or get help. And one of the teams that would need to win, if they won, the Dolphins would get in, are the Steelers. But they're going to rest Roethlisberger against the Browns. The other one is Jacksonville would have to beat the Colts. Not likely. I think the most likely scenario, though I don't know how likely it is that the Bengals would upset the Ravens.
That could happen.
It could happen.
It could.
But
because the Bengals won last week, so they could.
Yeah, and they've been playing better, but the Ravens have been playing a little better.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. So with that as the backdrop,
how about you guys just win the game and call it good? Just win the game.
Miami has to beat the Bills.
That's so hard.
Yeah. Now, so looking at it, I think people are looking at this game a little differently than I am for the most part. Everybody's talking about, Dolphins Tua's not been playing, got pulled, and he's not getting the ball down the field, which is all true. I mean, we're not seeing a lot of chunk plays out of Tua, and that's going to need to change. Kurt Warner may have made a good observation in the Saturday night game against the Raiders. He says Tua may be struggling to develop from receivers being Alabama open to NFL open.
Point.
And he said, and even Warner, though, said that he had to work on that because he said, even going from the Rams to the Cardinals, he said the Rams wide receivers, he could see the separation. Not so much in Arizona. And if you really look at the wide receivers he was playing with in St. Louis versus the receivers he was playing with in Carolina or Arizona, they were different. I mean, I think the Rams receivers were quicker, faster. Yeah. Whereas you had guys like Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona, who's one of those guys, you put it doesn't matter. He's not going to get big separation, but you put the ball up.
But he's tall, he's lanky, he's got good form, he's got good hands.
Right. So
he's a possession receiver, of sorts.
Right. And so he's the physical guy that's going to win those matchups without a whole lot of separation. And
Calvin Johnson was the same way. You don't expect him to burn on people. You expect to throw up the ball, chuck it, and he'll fight for it and get it.
So, I guess the question is, will Flores put it into his head, hey, look, go get some of those plays. You don't worry about it. Nobody's going to pull you. We ain't got anybody to pull you for. Just go get those plays. Is he going to turn them loose? Or here's the other thing, the consideration. Maybe they start with a tighter leash or a tight leash like they do, and they let their defense see what they can do. Because when we played the Bills the first time, it was week 2. And Josh Allen torched us. Stephon Diggs had a big game. But one, if I remember correctly from that game, I think Fitzpatrick, well, I know Fitzpatrick started. I think he put up a couple interceptions.
Yeah.
That hurt us. Tua won't do that. The other thing is we didn't get much of a pass rush that I remember.
You got a better pass rush now, I think, than when you guys.
Yeah, and I think we do that with a variety of things. One, I think some of our players are playing better now, but also we use multiple fronts to confuse. Sometimes you even see the Dolphins do stuff. If they really are trying to get after the quarterback, they'll do stuff like you'll see the defensive line. They'll kind of move around. The linemen and linebackers will kind of move in and around each other and never really even set. That way, the offensive line hasn't got a clue exactly who they're supposed to block. And I think that's going to be part of what's going to – that Dolphin defense cannot allow Josh Allen 400 yards passing, period.
Or 100 yards rushing for Josh either. He's done that a few times too.
Yeah, and I think that needs to be looked at. And I think that the defense is in a different place, and I think they're capable of getting some turnovers. And I think they're capable of putting pressure on them and kind of disrupting it. But they need to have a good game. They need to bring their A game Sunday afternoon. And if they do that, then because I think it's too much to look at Tua and say, all right, you're going to have to go out and match a guy throwing 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not that Tua,
if it's going to be an air battle, he's going to lose to Josh. Sorry, but
right now, and the other thing is that, all right. So before Fitzpatrick tested positive, all the Dolphin fans online are freaking out. They're saying, "Oh well, we got the wrong guy. Look at Tua with in there, and Flores is killing his confidence. If you can't trust him now, when can you trust him?" I'm thinking, hello, this is still a rookie we're talking about, right?
Exactly, and this is a great setup for him. Have him go in there. He'll have some good games, but he'll have some rough spots. But when you got the rough spots, you put the veteran in, and I think it's a great situation for him. That way he doesn't have all the responsibility and stress on him, but he's still in there learning and growing. I'm totally for it. I think I was really confused when he made Tua the starter, but I get it now. I see what he's doing, and I trust the system.
Right. And I had some interaction in the comment section of another YouTube video. Some guys that were just doing the complete knee jerk thing. Well, when are you going to trust them? And I'm thinking, all right, well, first of all, let's look at Tua versus other rookie quarterbacks. What did Brett Favre do his rookie year?
Peyton Manning.
He rode the pine in Atlanta. What did Joe Montana do in his first season? He threw a handful of passes. Nothing. He didn't do anything but throw a handful. They weren't even a complete. Didn't even look like a complete game. Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do his rookie year? Rode the pine. I mean, so development-wise, yes. I mean, I know people are looking at guys like Justin Herbert and
look at all these other guys that went in there and did it. Why can't so and so do it too?
And the situations are a little different too.
Yeah.
And Miami's winning games, whereas the Chargers are out of it. And so, Flores can't just dictate the entire team to Tua. I mean, he has to. You put Fitzpatrick in big moments, because we're trying to win. We're trying to make the playoffs, because it's not just about Tua. It's about the entire team and them knowing that we're going to move forward and we're going to do what we need to do for the team. So, I just don't. But that doesn't. I just don't get why everybody's in such a rush to label this kid a failure because
too early.
Yeah, because he struggles from time to time. I mean, I just don't get it.
Even Herbert didn't look good every game. There were a couple games that Herbert failed too. So don't
right. And it's not like, and Fitzpatrick has looked unbelievable in some of the relief spots, but if he had played the whole game, would he have won? I think what benefits Fitzpatrick is that he comes in late and defenses all of a sudden have to adjust to his game. Whereas maybe he couldn't do what he's doing if the defense had already settled in to him. But having to deal with Tua, and that's the other great advantage when you do have a Fitzpatrick, is that teams have to prepare for both quarterbacks, a righty and a lefty, and how those plays run. So I don't know. I guess I'm just it's just everybody's freaking out, and it's like, I know it's unconventional, but sometimes you got to think outside the box, and using this unique young quarterback to develop and have a reliever like Fitzpatrick to come in. That's a unique situation, but it's a good one to have, and it can work. And I think with the personalities of these two quarterbacks, it works fine. I'm just sorry that Fitzpatrick's tested positive now.
Yeah.
And now, if we get in trouble, we're just
the thing is how is he going to be back for the playoffs, or is he sick, or is he just positive sick?
If we don't know. If he doesn't have another positive test, though, I think he would be out for this game and the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. I got an idea. Here's a game for you, and it's a new game, Dale, called Is it a factor? Yes, that's right. It's a brand new game called Is It a Factor? I'm going to ask you two questions. and you're going to tell me yes or no. Is it a factor? They are a warm weather Southern team playing in what's going to be a very cold Northern New York stadium. Is it a factor?
Yeah, potentially. What have you seen the forecast? Do you know what the?
Yeah, we're looking at 30, 40. Could be some snow.
I don't think 30 or 40 degrees is going to matter to them. Not out there running around, and having worked in the homeless population, I've kind of become aware of temperatures because 35 and below is too cold to safely stay outdoors. So, and here in Kentucky, I know I never worried about 35, 30 degrees trying to go home at night. But now if it's 17 degrees, 15 degrees, then we're talking a whole different story. And then you have to factor in wind chill. So unless the wind's blowing super hard and driving the temperature down, I don't see 30 degrees being an issue.
Especially, but with a team that plays in good weather and all the practices in good weather and doesn't have very many games a year, maybe a couple.
I think it will feel good.
All right. Question number 2 is a factor. They are 12-3, just like the Steelers are 12-3. They have clinched their division. Are they really going to put it all in to win? Do they really? I look at it. I don't know if there's really a lot of seeding shuffling that's really going to matter if they win this game. Why would they go all out? They've already got everything they need. Is that a factor?
Well, that may be the only saving grace. That part of the decision for the Steelers to not.
If you look close, Ravens and Browns, 10 wins, 10 wins. You guys, 10 wins. Titans, 10 wins. Colts, 10 wins. They've got 12. If they win or lose this game, they're not moving any seeding up or down.
Right.
They go or lose, it doesn't matter.
So, all right. So here's the thing, and I don't know what they're thinking. But if the Steelers win and the Bills lose, there will be a flip.
But they already benched Ben. They already said Ben's not playing.
But Ben's not playing, and part of the reason for that decision was I don't think that Tomlin thinks that the Dolphins can beat the Bills, which is interesting.
You got a point there. So if he was worried about it, he'd be like, well, maybe the Dolphins will beat the Bills, and there's that chance. But he's like, that's it, Ben. We're good.
Right. So that may play in the Dolphins. So do the Bills then, knowing that the Steelers, or do they scoreboard watch? Do they go ahead and start Josh Allen and try to take it to us until they get a clear picture of whether or not Steelers are going to.
Mayfield throws a couple touchdowns. Browns are up by 14. And sit down, Josh.
It's hard to know exactly how the Bills are going to play that. How desperate are they to maintain the second seed? So, yeah, the only other thing is that the Bills could opt to not play their starters, but if they don't beat us, they do risk Pittsburgh potentially getting that second seed if the Steelers can beat the Browns with Mason Rudolph.
Well, yeah, okay. Let's think about that a sec, though. I'm going to take a look here.
But that's an interesting scenario as well, because I seem to remember a Cleveland Brown player having a little vendetta to settle with Mason Rudolph. Don't you think?
You mean that whole helmet wacky-do thing there you're talking about?
Don't you think Mason Rudolph might want to keep his head on a swivel? I don't know that was good. If that was good news for Rudolph.
Ben, we're playing the Browns. Yeah. Remember, Myles Garrett? Are you sure you're not playing this week? No. Oh man, son of a gun. Yeah,
Miles Garrett Miles Garrett may leave him a little note saying, "I ain't playing any reindeer games, Rudolph."
Good to see you again, Rudolph. Exactly. I have a chart here, the division. If things flop and Buffalo goes to 3 and Pittsburgh goes to 2, it looks on the chart that Pittsburgh would be playing the Browns again next week in the first round of the.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks interesting. I'm just looking at that, and that would be like playing them again.
Yeah.
Dolphins, just win, guys. We don't need any of that shenanigans.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a crazy week. So, all right. So, looking at the Dolphins at Bills, this may be a homer pick.
Oh, it is.
But I think that people are selling my Dolphins short. I think it's going to be. It could between the defense and maybe Tua comes out and has a much better game. Buffalo's defense still doesn't impress me. So,
cats and birds.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Dolphins. I got to root for my Dolphins. Got to pick them because I believe that they can win this game. Will they? Well, and it's hard, and I think it's not knowing how the Bills are going to play it.
Like you did last week with the Lions, and you were right. Buffalo, to me, I think is a better team on most pieces of the football, except for the defensive side. Offensively, they're better. I think special teams, they're better. And not only that, but dang, Josh is fun to watch. Other than Mahomes, there's nobody I'd rather watch a quarterback because you just don't know the weird, crazy stuff he's going to improv. And so I'd pick Buffalo, but it's not against you. It's just and looking at the little green line over there, I think 87% of the world agrees with me.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we got Baltimore at Cincinnati, Ravens at the Bengals. And, of course, I'll be rooting for the Bengals.
Absolutely. I mean, Finley's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he shouldn't have been winning, and he won last week and really shouldn't have. But then again, that was the Texans. So what does that really mean? I think the Bengals are kind of on a let's get some draft picks line here. I don't think they're going to be giving much into it, and I think Baltimore still gives a crap. So I agree with their 98% there. Because Baltimore has something to play for. They are in the wild card hunt, and Cincinnati's not. And they're just looking to stay alive and hope their rookie quarterback is back next year and nice and healthy. So
yeah.
They got nothing to play for, really, other than spoilers. And
now how much will the Bengals lay down? I don't know because there are guys on that team that'll be playing for their jobs.
True, and that's what it showed last week. There's a lot of people. They're like, I'm probably not going to be in Cincinnati next year. I'm doing a little, film work and tape for my interviews.
Or they do want to keep their job in Cincinnati, and be part of the rebuilding. So, yeah, and the Ravens do not want to sleepwalk on the Bengals.
No, they can't. They can't. But I think they're more capable.
I think they can handle the Bengals. All right, now we've got this game intrigues me, but I tell you what, I think the Browns, knowing that Roethlisberger is resting, and I think the Browns just hate the Steelers, and it's on their home field, which I know. I don't know how many people are attending Browns games these days, but I don't know. I just think that the Browns are going to take the Steelers.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm a Brown fan. You know this. I'm partial. And so if I'm not even sure and I think it's 50-50, I'm going to lean on the Browns. And I don't think it's 50-50. I think they're more than capable of winning. And I think they want to win. And like you said, Rudolph's going to be probably starting. So
Right. So, yeah, because I don't even think that the Steelers are guaranteed a victory against them with Roethlisberger.
Not the way they played the past 5 weeks.
No. So I'm going with the Browns in that game. Now we've got Minnesota Vikings at Detroit Lions.
It's nothing. It's Minnesota. I mean, we still got no coaches. Stafford will not be starting. He is out. We have no wanting to win, no desire to win. We just want to get the hell out of this season and be done with it. Oh no, coaching might lose their coaches already lost their jobs. So yeah, Minnesota. I'm curious on this is my interpretation of every single play from Detroit. Chase Daniels gets the ball, hands it off, running back goes 1.5 yards. Chase Daniels hands the ball to the other side to another running back. He goes 1.5 yards, and then he throws some pass to nobody who can't catch it, and then they punt. And that will be repeat all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah.
Mark my words. England, though, I love the next game, though, because I'm picking the Jets to win.
The Jets and Patriots?
Yes! I mean, sorry, but the Jets have actually been playing good. They beat the Browns last week, and then before that they won. I mean, the Jets are like on a roll, They've won a couple now, They're no longer the can't win a game team. So I think it's kind of interesting. And I think it's a trap game because New England's not good. They're not good at all.
They aren't good.
I know they're not 2-13, but go Jets.
I'm still taking the Patriots. I just think Belichick's not going to let these guys coast.
No.
And the Patriots are probably going to try hard just because they don't want to because Belichick will make them miserable.
Oh, yeah, he'll make their lives a living hell. But I'm going to call right now trap game. So when the Jets end up winning, I will be Facebooking you with a big picture of like a bear trap. And when you see that, you'll know what that's all about.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not saying this is a slam dunk. I'm just saying I don't know how much faith I got in the Gase coach team. I
have none either. But they did beat the Browns last week. I mean, you got to think about that. It's kind of impressive. It's like they have the ability, and the Browns were trying. Just for some reason. It's that any given week thing. Even the worst team in the NFL has talent, and they're not – even the garbage teams aren't technically garbage. They're just not as good as the others, so they don't win games, and they look like they're inferior. But even the Jets, you put them against Alabama, they kick Alabama's butt, hands down, every single time. So, people got to keep remembering that these are professionals and the best of the best. They're just some kids in the smart class. That's all.
Now we've got the Cowboys at the Giants.
I don't care. Pick one.
I don't really care, but I do think Andy Dalton's starting to pick it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And and they're starting to warm up a little bit.
I mean, New York lost last week.
I don't know. Are the
Dallas beat the Eagles by like 20 points last week. So, I mean,
I guess the Cowboys do still have something to play for.
But look at the win 3, loss 3. Look at the streaks. Who's hot and who's not? And then that would be the Giants.
Right. Right. The Redskins better get hot quick. They're going to see that slip away.
Real fast.
Now we've got the Falcons at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. I don't.
Brady in a season closer. Well, I don't know. Last year he had the Dolphins in New England and couldn't pull it out.
Yeah.
But this is Atlanta. They have a special, unique talent for snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Look at last week. They only lost to the Chiefs by 3 points. The Chiefs.
Right.
So you don't know what's going on with Atlanta. They got the capabilities. They can do it. But are they?
They can keep it close, but they can they always
Snatching
find a way
defeat from the jaws of victory. Right. We know. I know what you're saying, man.
Yeah,
but isn't there that little bit of Tom Brady? Like, I remember playing these guys in the Super Bowl. Yeah. A little bit of that. I remember these guys. They'll look good. We can still get them.
Yeah. Well, maybe Tom Brady tells them, yeah, you guys better get a 50-point lead if you get the chance.
And I don't know if it's a factor or not. Here's another game of is it a factor? These are professional athletes. You're getting paid millions of dollars. I get all that. But when you play a team like last week, the Lions, who had their starting quarterback gone, nobody worth a toot on the team, no coaching whatsoever, and you beat them by 40 points, kind of gives you a little swagger and a little, yeah, check us out. We're pretty bad. We're awesome. So maybe they go into the Falcons thinking that they're better than what maybe they are, and they I don't know if that's a factor or not because they really looked good. The Lions made them look really good last week.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I just it just doesn't seem wise to bet against Brady. It was especially if it was somebody other than the Falcons, I'd give them a better chance, maybe pulling an upset, but.
Falcons just don't seem to want to win some games. It just seems like, yeah.
Where's Weinbender and Dan Powers? Because now we have the Packers at the Bears. Intriguing game.
Intriguing game, but there is that X factor. Remember what you were talking about? Ben, I wish I could pronounce his freaking name. The left tackle for the Packers, perennial Pro Bowler, Bakhtiari, like the best left tackle in all the NFL. He's gone. Yesterday he tore his ACL. So that is not a good deal. And so that's one thing. So Rodgers is not going to have the coverage he normally has. He's the rock that keeps Rodgers safe. And they actually showed him on, like, they were doing some spreads on him. They were saying something like he's like, that reason he always makes a Pro Bowl is he's like 99% solid where nobody gets by him, that none of the sacks, none of the pressures, none of that is ever through the left tackle. And now they got some other guy in there. So maybe with the streak that Trubisky's doing right now, the truth is looking good all of a sudden again.
You know how much I believe in Trubisky?
As much as you believed in Nick Foles.
I think this could be a tighter game than what Green Bay would like just because of the Chicago defense. But they're going to put up more points than...
Come on, Dale. I want just give a good, solid reason why the Packers are going to lose. And I got one reason, but I need more. Help me out here. Yeah, Bakhtiari. That's his name. Bakhtiari out for the rest of the season. Yeah, the Packers are probably going to win, but I don't want them to. They've secured the division. They've clinched it. They're also not going to care. They're going to sit down and put Love in at quarterback and still beat the Bears.
I think they still need to win because I think if they lose and Seattle wins, then the Seahawks get the number one seed.
No. They still need to win. But Aaron's going to know. They're going to put Love in and still win. Watch. And it's going to be good. Love's going to go in, throw 4 touchdowns, and then there's going to be the whole, maybe they'll have to bench Rodgers next year. Maybe we should trade him. Maybe he should retire. But that would be so good. I would love to see the chaos explode in Green Bay if Love gets put in and just kills it. Oh, man, that would be awesome.
You really think Rodgers' job is in jeopardy after the season he's had?
You're acting like he's like one of the forerunners from the MVP or something.
Well,
in your mind and the rest of the mind of the world, who are all wrong, this has been sacked up by Mahomes still. Rodgers is over the hill. Quarterback, he's lucky. That's why they drafted Love, and I'm living in fantasy land, I know. Yeah, move to the next game. Packers win. Vegas.
The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Denver Broncos.
There's no reasons the Raiders should lose, but there are reasons that they're probably going to lose because they're Vegas. They're not that far off from Atlanta when it comes to they can win games if they want to. It just seems like some games they don't want to. Denver's not very good.
Yeah, and I just think that without having a really, I don't know. I tend to think that the Raiders are just going to put up too many points.
I think the Raiders are better than a 7-8 team right now. I think it's a dang shame that they're 7-8. They shouldn't be. They should be a minimum finish this year off, 9-7.
I'm glad that they're a 7-7 or an 8-7 team right now. That's what they get for being
bitter
stupid.
Much?
And well, no, I mean they took us for granted. They thought it was better not to score a touchdown. They left the crack open, and we sprinkled some Fitz magic in it, and so their season is over.
It's been a week, Dale. You just let it go, man. Let bygones be bygones. Don't hold it against them.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not. I was a little irritated over them not trying to score the touchdown because I kind of felt like, so you don't even think we can get a field goal.
Not only that, there's a lot of clock management that could have been monkeyed with too a little bit more to give you guys less time. I mean, there's a lot of things they mishandled, and play calling, clock management are just two of them. So they botched it bad.
But I have to, and really, it took maybe the play of the year because for Fitzpatrick,
that was awesome, man.
To complete that pass with a dude ripping his head off.
That's a no-look pass. That's a no-head pass. That was awesome.
Well, Patrick Mahomes tweeted that. He said it was the ultimate no-look pass. And
I saw that tweet. It was funny.
And I mean, it wasn't like a little face mask. He caught the whole thing, and it's like Fitzpatrick said, he didn't even know he completed the pass until someone told him.
But what we got here in this game is a team that almost beat you guys, could have beat you guys, and you guys, solid, legitimate team, shows they have that capability and they have the talent. They just got a little hiccups and faux pas here and there versus a team that I can't think of one player in one position that I would say is better than average.
Right.
Even the defense, their legends are Von Miller. No, I can't think about him. Nobody is above average on that team.
Well, I don't know about that. I think their defense is really good. I think that's why we see sometimes.
I've seen good, but not better than average. I've seen them be average, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen games where I'm like, wow, that Broncos defense is one of the top 5 in the league. I've seen
but we have seen the Dolphins went into Denver and lost because we had a bad game. I mean, and I think it's that Denver defense. And you can look at the Saints. Taysom Hill did not do bad in relief, except that game in Denver. And the only reason that game was close was because neither one of them could throw the football.
But you do realize
Denver had an excuse.
Bills put up 50 points on them, though.
That everybody has a bad week.
All right.
I do think the Denver defense is their saving grace as far as that's why they've won anything, because their offense is terrible.
Right. I'll agree with that. The offense is so bad that if their defense wasn't average, they would
better than average.
Or better. All right. Well, I'm not buying it. But that's we have our opinions. We're allowed to have. I'll agree on this. There are weeks at a time, not consistently, where the Broncos do look like they have an above average defense. They're just not consistent enough for me to say overall throughout the season they are above average. How's that?
Some of that can fall back on the offense too. If they get too many 3-and-outs and leave their defense stranded on the field, that can adversely affect the defense. You know,
true.
So, all right. So now we've got the Jaguars at Indianapolis Colts. And
so you should just mark the Indianapolis and whatever strength of your confidence points is, just throw it up there, whatever you feel like, 16, 15, 14, maybe 13. At least that's me. I think this is pretty easy. They're at home. It's Indy.
What are you talking about at home?
Isn't Indy at home?
Yeah. But we don't pay attention to.
I do. When I said, remember when we did this before, I said if there is a specific advantage because of stadium location, the Colts are in the north where it's cold. Jacksonville's
in the dome.
Okay, well, fair. I don't play outside, but okay. Fair enough. Okay, so you tell me what Jacksonville has going for them that will, other than, I heard some great news this week. I don't know if you heard it. Philip said this could be his last game ever.
Oh, wow.
That was this week. He said, I don't know after this game who I'll be playing for or where I'll be playing or if I'll be playing for. This could be my last game.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If I'm the Colts, maybe I try to get them to play another year because they're doing awfully well. And
I mean, they're not in the playoffs, but, it stuck.
They could be in the playoffs.
They still
can't beat the Bills and none of the other teams drop, if things fall in, they're in the playoffs.
Really? Let me take a look at that.
That's the other thing. See, we need.
Oh shoot! See, I thought they were 9-6. No, you're right. They're 10-5, aren't they?
Right. So this is.
Oh, yeah. They got everything to play for, and Jacksonville don't. So, yeah, they're even more so. Yeah, I'm sorry. Bad Steve.
Yeah. So if the Dolphins are the team that drops out, the Colts are the team that gets in.
Yeah, I apologize.
So looking at that, maybe the Colts want to keep Phillip Rivers at least another year while their team's good. What
are you gonna put Brissett in again?
Jacoby Brissett, is he even in Indianapolis?
Yeah, I think he's still there. Let's double check. But I think he is. Let's go. Colts roster. I think he's still the backup. Let's find out. Come on, computer. Load faster. Come on. There we go. Come on. All right. We got roster. Boop. Why is my internet web down? Quarterback, Phillip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett. He is the backup. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been another player that's had good games and looked competent, but he's also had some other games that are totally incompetent. So hard to say.
Yeah.
But still more consistent, whether I like him or not. He's a better chance.
Yeah. While I'm thinking about it, Okay, Jake, you seem to have something going on. Did you want to weigh in on one of these games? Oh, now you're acting all indifferent.
Any more? He says he's waiting for a game that has to do with any cat team. So he's waiting for the Carolina New Orleans game.
The Kitty Cat Brotherhood.
Yeah.
They're all sticking, Jake. I need one of them to win. Bengals, Jaguars, and they all stink, and they're all going to lose.
All cat teams are awful.
Yeah. So, sorry, buddy.
You don't want to hear that.
This isn't the year of the cat.
No Al Stewart here.
Yeah. So now we've got the Chargers at Chiefs. How are the Chiefs at home in the underdog column? Really?
That's obviously a mistake. There has to be a mistake. I mean, although over there, they got a greater chance of Miami winning than they say. Look at the Chargers. They got 28% think the Chargers can win this game. What?
Unless they're thinking the Chiefs are going to rest people.
If they know something we don't know, and they are, then okay, I can get it.
I mean, that's a possibility. The Chiefs or the Bills can't catch them.
They're the number one seed, and they're going to keep number one seed, I think. Let me take a look at it. Well, yeah, 14 if they lose. That put them at 14-2. There's no other team that can get to 14-2. There is none.
Right.
So, yeah. Actually, to be honest, they'd be stupid if they played people. So, yeah.
So that may be it.
That could be it.
I don't know. I still think, well, maybe I don't know what I think. Maybe I want to Google
Kansas City inactive list, the first thing that comes up. Did you see that?
Yeah, but I want to see what the headlines are.
Willie Gay's going to see a lot of football.
Oh, well, we do have 5 Kansas City
there we go.
players out.
Who? Hill? Mahomes? Yes, Hill is out with a hamstring. Watkins still the calf. Le'Veon Bell, knee. So there's actually people out with injuries, not just for sitting.
Other Chiefs starters won't appear in the lineup Sunday. He plans to rest several starters, including Patrick.
There you go. Chad Henne's starting. There you go. All right, well, Chiefs, the Chargers got a chance. Okay. You're flipping it over. You're like,
yeah, that's going to be kind of a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when the Chiefs are so good that their second and third stringers against the starting team is to pick 'em. You know, that's great. But yeah,
well, the Chargers aren't great, but you never know. If I'm looking at Herbert versus Henne,
Herbert, I think he can do that. He can.
Yeah, I mean it's very possible, and I don't think the Chiefs really care.
No.
Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's just let's get through this game.
Here, get some stats, boys.
Yeah.
Big
So,
league, yeah.
but even at that, it's not. I'm not going to put a lot of points on it.
No. All right.
Yeah, here's the third bit of quarterback news. Goff is not playing.
What happened?
The Cardinals. I am not sure. So. Okay, John Wolford.
Who?
John Wolford looks like he's starting. So it says Jared Goff is doing everything he can to help Jared Wolford ahead of first NFL action.
I didn't know he was a quarterback. Who's John Wolford?
So why is Jared Goff not playing though?
I'm looking that up right now.
Oh, injury.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Broke his thumb.
Yoo-hoo.
So
Hey, though. I apologize. He's got skills. You know how you know this?
But how's that?
He was the player of the week in week 3 of the AAF as the quarterback for the Arizona Hotshots. Yeah, okay, he's not that good, but I was just saying he was a player of the week for one of the couple of weeks the AAF was on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, counting. Now I am recognizing like Wolford. Yeah, okay, I remember that. I forgot about the AAF, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Arizona on that one.
Good call.
Unless Kyler Murray is out.
No, I think
I haven't
Kyler's
heard
playing.
anything about that.
No, I think he'll be there.
Okay, so then we've got the 49ers. Or no, the Seahawks at 49ers.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still shuffling for spots and seating, and they're 11-4, and yeah, they don't want to mess with that. They're going to go in hard. Saints and Carolina, same deal. They're deep in the hunt, and they're jockeying for position. Carolina got nothing to play for.
Yeah. New Orleans is going to go in and take care of business. So then we've got the Tennessee Titans at Houston Texans.
Ooh, the Oilers game. All right. Cool.
And
which Oilers team are you picking?
I pick the Titans bouncing back after that disappointing showing against the Packers.
Yeah, but remember, week before that, they looked great against the Lions. Well, then against the Lions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, getting your backside handed to you by the Packers is nothing to be like terribly sad about. I mean, it's the Packers.
Yeah, and the conditions weren't great, and
yeah, it was a little snowy, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, Rodgers seemed to really thrive in throwing in that snow.
He loves it. The ghost of Bart Starr and gets into his veins. Starts throwing the ball.
In fact, I think I'll go ahead and put 14 on that. Come up here. We're going to put
11, 12, 10.
13 on the.
Ooh, you're doing 13. All right.
I mean, come on. They're playing a team this is another one of those situations where the guy hasn't played any NFL football.
Yeah. But he was player of the week. What? Yeah.
Now we've got the Redskins trying to win I guess they're trying to win the NFC East. They haven't won. They got on a 2-game losing streak, but they're playing the Eagles.
They cut Haskins, if I remember right, this week, didn't they? He's not even out anymore. Dwayne's gone. I don't know if that's good or bad news. I mean, Alex will be playing, obviously. And if you remember the beautiful, beautiful performance that Philadelphia put in last week, losing 20 points to the Cowboys. But Philadelphia really has got anything to play for really right now. But Washington does, right? Am I right? So
I'm picking the Redskins.
I would think Washington. I think Alex wants to do what he can do, and if he's competitive. If there's a chance of something, he's going to put in his little oomph. And Alex oomph is good. So
I'm assuming that the reason they have this in this order is because Washington has an advantage over the Cowboys. So if the Cowboys lose, in
Yeah.
the early game, would the Redskins rest their players and go in as 6-10 champions?
It's 4:00, boys. It's starters. Go sit down. We got this. You know? You're right. You're right. I never thought about that, but they could actually clinch the division, clinch the NFC East before they go on the field.
Now, I don't think that's going to happen because I think the Cowboys are going to beat the Giants.
Danny Dimes is not somebody that I would put any money on. So yes.
Yeah. So
that'd be funny though, because it's a mess. It's a mess, man.
Could the Redskins, if the Giants beat the Cowboys, could that clinch the division for Washington at 6 wins?
It could be possible that the team that wins this division could be 6-10. That's hilarious. The Cowboys can lose and the Redskins can lose.
That's crazy. Oh, but now we do have to. Now here's the other question.
But then the Giants would be winning. That would put them up to 6-10 themselves.
Does Washington have the tiebreaker over the Giants?
Yeah, but better look. It's funny that the only team that really doesn't have anything to even worry about is the Eagles, and they're only 2 games out. That's
at 4-10.
Yeah,
4-10-1.
That's 1.5 games out. Excuse me. This whole division is a dumpster fire. I think Washington's the best bet there. But
the only thing that's saving this division is that they're playing each other. So half teams have to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
If they weren't playing each other, we could be looking at them all losing.
It would be a mess.
That would be something. I'll go back and look at the schedule and see how many weekends this season have all 4 teams lost on a given Sunday.
You okay? Baby girl.
Well, we'll hope my co-host is not has not choked to death.
You'll be back.
Yeah, if I was there, I'd give him the Heimlich. Whether he needed it or not.
Nothing. Get me something to drink, like a drink. It's like I can drink to drink. I need a drink.
Didn't you just do that?
No, I need a drink.
I don't know what the heck that was all about, but I just got said.
Well, like I was just saying, if I was there, I'd give you the Heimlich, whether you needed it or not.
Thanks, man. I got it all out on my own.
I'd give you some,
reflex worked well.
I'd give you some Drew Brees ribs.
Thanks. Break 8 or 9 of them. That'd be great.
But I was just while you were gasping your last there, I was doing the math on this division, and they are 21-38-1 as a division.
Way to go, boys. Now the question is, we got to look at the Washington and New York. If they played when they played this year, who has the lead on that? Because if the Giants beat the Cowboys, do they have an opportunity still? I want to know. God, my throat's burning. Don't know what that was all about.
Let's see here.
There we go.
So Dallas clinches NFC East division title with Dallas win plus Washington loss or tie, or Dallas tie and Washington loss.
Makes sense. Washington's got to win. Not Dallas got it.
And why is this? I don't care about you people down here. Why
It
is
is Giants. It is. With the New York win and a Washington loss, the Giants do get it.
Wow.
Chaos. I love it.
If that happens, every team in the NFC East would have double-digit losses.
Correct.
Wow. And then Washington wins or ties plus Dallas loss or tie.
There's still 3 teams in it
Yeah.
of the 4.
So that's the craziness of the NFC East. We were looking at the Redskins and Cowboys and totally forgot about the Giants.
Yep.
Wow.
Because
and the thing is, none of these teams are good enough to guarantee a win.
Oh, they go up against the majority of the NFL. I'm going to pick the other team, so but here they are. And then you've got your team that looks awesome with 10 wins, and they might not make it. But these
Oh,
guys,
my gosh.
they got 3 of them that could do it with 6.
Yeah, that just yeah.
That's wrong, man.
It's not right. It's not right.
It's a mess is what it is. I mean, look at the AFC North, guys. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland all have 10 or more wins. The Bengals, yeah, they're 4-10, but they got 3 teams that in all likelihood should be in the playoffs. But one of those teams isn't going to be, more than likely. So it's crazy. I know Pittsburgh will be, but Baltimore and Cleveland, they're not clinched yet. They're 10-5, just like Miami is. So anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, wow, I'm almost rooting for the Giants now. Is that wrong, Dale? Because I don't care. None of them's going to get past the first round anyway. Go New York.
That's true. So the question is,
I'll never root for the Cowboys. So we got
the only question is which team could end up. Well, one of these teams are going to be division winner, and somebody's going to have to go to their field to play them.
Mm-hmm.
And so who would that be? I guess they'd be the lowest clinching. So
They'd be the lowest seed.
Probably be
New Orleans. New Orleans is the top. No, they get the division. Yeah, they don't have the bye. Wild card right now shows New Orleans is the number 2 seed.
Yeah. Well, but they'd be, if they're the division champs, they won't go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
It'd be one of the other. It'd be the top seeded wild card.
Right, which would be Seattle gets their division.
Looks like maybe the Buccaneers. Yeah.
As it sits right now, yeah, they're showing Washington and Tampa Bay on the brackets here, but we all know that New York and Dallas are on it. So whoever is winning that, would be against Tampa Bay.
I was looking to see who would get the other wild card, potentially the Rams.
Yeah, it looks like Rams.
I guess what we haven't talked about is, can the Cardinals catch the Rams? The Rams are without Goff, and they're playing. Are they playing the Cardinals? Yeah, they're playing the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So it could be the Cardinals ending up going to
Arizona is still in the hunt, showing on here.
No. The Cardinals would be. It would still be the top seeded wild card that would go to the last division winner, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm confused.
Well, they added a game, so it kind of makes things a little difficult to figure out.
Yeah. Why are these people keep bothering me?
Please buy our product and watch our
And
video.
well, she can go to grove.com and get what she needs without going to the store. That's the whole point of that.
Yay.
And that's so, man, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's going to be interesting. It's going to make this last Sunday interesting to see what kind of crazy scenarios go on, though I may be too depressed come Sunday night to appreciate that.
Hey, man. Even if they lose, if they play a good game, will you still be depressed if it was close and they almost win it? Or would you rather them just get their butt whooped?
I don't know. I don't know how depressed I'll be because the Dolphins were not expected to make a playoff run this year.
True.
Most people didn't have us winning more than 5 or 6 games.
True. They also expected you to start, at one point, Fitzmagic the whole year. So
Right. And when you look at the obstacles we've had to overcome this year, I mean, we're not a Kansas City Chief team with a lot of offensive weapons to begin with.
No, you're scrappy though. That's why I like you guys. You're playing above what you should be technically, really.
Right. But there were games where we were missing our top 2 receivers, top 3 running backs, our starting tight end, and we're still in there. So
you have a lot of disadvantages that you guys have been, like I said, tough, scrappy competitors with. And I wish for you guys, and I want you in, and I want to see you guys do good. You deserve it. But at the same point, the Bills deserve it too. So I don't know, man.
Well, when you look at the other wild card contenders, which is Cleveland, Indianapolis, and
I think right now Cleveland and Indy are the only 2 iffies in the hunt, according to Yahoo. Looks like everybody else got it.
Well, you got the Colts. The Colts are going to be could be a wild card, but then you got the Ravens and Browns here.
Yeah,
I don't know that I can be too upset. I mean, we've outperformed what everybody thought, and we've got a big draft coming up. We have got a lot of big opportunities to get more talent, and so and then the only thing that I'd be concerned about is just will Tua make that transition to where he can get the ball down the field and get chunk plays for us, and I think he can do that. So I won't be too depressed. I mean, I didn't think we were going to the Super Bowl this year.
Am I allowed to vent though? Now that we're kind of done with all this, because I have a little mini vent.
Okay.
And this is directed at Roger Goodell and the NFL in general.
All right.
Alvin Kamara scored 6 touchdowns in that game on Christmas Day. Set an NFL record. That team scored 50 points on his feet. And they still have the cojones to fine him because he had red and green mismatching colored cleats on Christmas Day and he scored 6 touchdowns. Did you really fine Alvin Kamara, NFL? Did you really do that? What the heck is wrong with you? It's Christmas Day. He set an NFL record. Just shut up. Shut your freaking mouth. Go on. Yes, it's technically against the rules because you had 2 different colored shoes and they weren't approved. Shut up. It's Christmas Day. I am very disappointed that you went through and you find him. Bad. Okay, vent over. Sorry.
Well, that's I don't get it.
Don't they have something else to be worried about? And then, hey, his shoes are 2 different colors. We can't have that. What? Somebody's taking the air out of football? Oh, I didn't see that.
To me, they worry about some of the petty stuff and then don't deal with some of the big stuff.
Exactly. I mean, personally, I would actually have said this week at some point, Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph in a room and just have them talk to each other. Just say, hey, guys, we're going to be playing again. Just making sure we've got no problems here. That I would actually do that. Just make sure everything's cool, everything's squashed. But no, they're going to go after the, his cleats were a different color.
Well, they don't take care of the important stuff. Well, look at how callous they were with the whole, even going back in Roger Goodell's tenure of Spygate.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a major rule violation, and he not only kind of brushed it the first time they found tapes, he not only brushed it away, he got rid of the tapes. What? How are you? See, if I had been commissioner, I would have had NFL officials on top of the Patriots facility saying, don't touch a thing until we go through and look at everything.
Go before that, just on the opposite side, Bountygate. Sean Payton was not the person that said, hey, take out those players. It was his defensive coordinator that did it. But yet still, Payton was banned from coaching for a whole year. He could not coach his team for a whole year because not him, but the guy underneath him was telling players to take out other players. That, and then, of course, then you get Spygate coming out like, well, we got all these tapes, let's prove this evidence. I don't know, maybe. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, inconsistent is definitely true when it comes to NFL upper offices. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, and then a serious matter. You've got Roethlisberger pinning a girl in the back of a Georgia.
It's still allegedly because he did pay her off and it got shoveled under. Nothing was definitive either or. So you still have to say allegedly.
Right.
But we know what happened. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's the second time. I mean, the first time it happened, I was like, well, I don't know. But the second time, you got one time in Colorado, now it's happening again in Atlanta. And then you've got pictures of Ben cheesing with the investigating officer and reports that the bar sanitized the bathroom before they could investigate.
Coincidentally. Yeah.
I mean,
there's enough there where I think it's pretty definitive, but in a court of law.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Now, what we didn't do is pick couple scores. Las Vegas is probably
28-14. Nope, 31. Now we're in there. I think Vegas can score some points. I think they're going to be, might as well see what's in your drop down. Do the best guess. 28-24.
I think they're going to pound these guys.
All right.
Well, they may play it conservative, but we're going to.
What are you going to give the backup? Mr. Hotshot. Nope, Mr. Hotshot's not going to score nothing.
No. In fact, I'm going here. Oh, no, that's most points. Oops.
Shit. Wrong. Oopsie. This isn't the greatest show on turf. That's the wrong Rams there. We was talking about Warner, but this isn't that Warner team.
Let's go Rams.
I'd hate to say that You should have picked the Lions. You know, you're going to eat your words next time we talk after this weekend.
You think?
Oh, wait. You got a point there. We got Prater. We'll score 3. We'll get like a 57-yard field goal or something. They'll have a crappy kick. We'll get a decent return, and we'll get a field goal. 3 points.
Yeah. So it is shaping up to be a really interesting weekend. I definitely will be watching. I haven't even looked to see what is getting shown in this area. I can't imagine that I'll get the Buffalo Bills Dolphins game.
You'll get the Colts.
No, yeah. Well, in this area, I'm probably more likely. Well, I'm not sure when the Colts playing 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
The Colts are playing at the time of the 4:25. So yeah, that's not going to be a 1 o'clock game.
So my guess is that we'll either get the Steelers, Browns, or Bengals, whoever they're playing.
Baltimore.
Yeah, we'll get one of those 2 games. It's very possible we could get this just because of all the playoff ramifications, and we could get Steelers.
If they were smart, they would get either the Steelers, Browns, or the Miami Buffalo. Those would be the 2 best.
We're just not in the right market. We're in the Bengals market.
It matters.
Huh?
It's the playoff implications. It doesn't matter your market. Everybody's interested in all the games that matter. And those.
Well, unfortunately, the NFL doesn't see it that way.
I know.
So I'll probably get one of those 2. My guess is we may get Steelers Browns. They may do us that favor. They're not going to get Bills Dolphins. So I'll have my little stream.
I was gonna say
TV.
It'd be nice if you could watch the Dolphins game on the big TV, but it's not.
So I'll have the Fins on this TV and probably have whatever they're showing on the big TV.
Right.
And I'll watch it that way, watch it play out, and then see how it goes.
I'm rooting for you.
I will admit, as well as we played this year, it would be frustrating not to at least get to go. But it won't be the end of things. So going into this playoff run, I know your Lions are out. So do you have any dogs in the fight? Anybody? I guess Cleveland will that be the team that you're?
My first up, of course, is the Cat Team Brotherhood, and none of them will be there. So my second up, Cleveland. Got my Brownies. Third up, Bills, because I just am impressed by them and I like them. Not a Bills fan, but I am a fan of this team this year.
Okay.
So that would be my.
Well, that's all right. That's all right because while you're rooting for the Bills, it won't bother me so much when I'm pulling for the Packers in the NFC.
I knew you were going to anyway. But what's the question? When I first met you, Dale. And you said, and like, oh, Dolphin fan. I go, I like the Packers too. You said that on the first day. I don't know how the question came around to being, but you told me you kind of like the Packers too. So I've known.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't hold it against you.
Yeah. Now I'm sure we'll delve more into the playoffs next week, but just kind of looking at it, do you have any feelings about the Super Bowl?
Personally?
Yeah.
I'm going to be the Packers and the Chiefs.
Well, I was about to say the same
boring
thing.
Super Bowl. Boring.
Well, boring?
Because they're not doing fresh teams of the Super Bowl. It's not going to be boring. They're great teams. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I want to see some teams that haven't been there recently or a bunch. And Packers been in the Super Bowl enough. They've had their stops, and Chiefs just got off of one. So, I mean, I'd like to see some teams that haven't been in there a little bit, like the Bills. They haven't won one ever. Sure, they were in it a few times, 4 in a row.
Right.
Dolphins. I like to see some of these fresh faces come through. Browns, especially. I want to.
Oh my gosh. How crazy would that be for Browns fans if they could squeeze in there?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for is some fresh faces in there. These underdogs. I always go for the underdogs. And let's be honest. The Chiefs and the Packers are overdogs. They're expected, so they got to go down.
I know one fresh face I don't want.
Oh yeah.
That's a Tampa Bay led.
Yeah. I knew where you were at. As soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah. They got their win with Trent Dilfer. They're good. They don't need no more.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
All right. Well, I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up.
I'll go figure out why the heck I just threw up out of nowhere, and can't give you an excuse for it, and I apologize. Can't have any stream go off.
Wow.
Can we?
I'm telling you, these live streams are just
chaos. You never
know. Yeah. This channel has had, so now we can add regurgitation to our accomplishments.
I've only had one White Claw. One. You saw me drink it live here on air. This should not have caused that. Anyway, we'll see ya. I'll keep in touch with you on Facebook, and good luck. I got no dogs in the fight personally for the Lions' sake. I got nothing there. I will be happy if the Bills win, but I'll be happy also if the Dolphins win. So go fish.
We're mammals.
Whatever. I know that you are. Dolphins are mammals. They're fish. They're in the water.
I've heard that squish the fish too much.
Yeah.
We're mammals.
So, peace out. Take care.
All right.
Don't forget, guys. Not this Wednesday. It's the following Wednesdays, Mandy.
No. We had a week off this week. Next Wednesday, we'll be talking about The Office.
Right. I love Ricky Gervais. Can't wait. Oh, you mean that cheap fake American knockoff version of The Office? Oh, she doesn't like that one, does she? Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That's right. She's not on here. I can do it all I want. That Steve Carell's a joke, man. What a hoser. You see him on the Daily Show? The guy's not even an actor. He's like what a sham, that Carell guy.
Oh wow, you're in trouble.
We were besties, but I couldn't kept it late for too long. I was getting bored of this whole besties thing. That sucked. I can't do that. We'll see you in the comment section. Take care, bud.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.